Okay, what's up, people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing good this Monday morning, as always. If there is any pairs you guys want me to take a look at, always just drop it down in the chat, of course, or any questions, whatnot, put down in the chat. We'll take a look. But yeah, guys, hope you're having a good day, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Could really be good evening. But if you are enjoying the content, please be sure to like, subscribe. It really does help out. And of course, make sure to hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. Let me quickly drop the Discord chat in the chat so you guys can check it out if you are interested. Completely free to join. So check it out if you're interested. But guys, welcome back to another stream. William, 30 minutes before we start. Love to see that. Hope you're doing good. Hope you had a good weekend as well. Game City, good morning. Hope you're well. Moxalisi, probably saying that very, very wrong, but good morning. Hope you're well. Amirit. Gold, yes, we'll take a look at gold. Guys, tripping me up on some names there. But yeah, we'll go through a bunch of pairs. Let me just pin that really quickly. Okay. So yeah, we'll go through a bunch of pairs. Firstly, I'm still in my Euro Yen position from last week, which isn't moving too well, I must admit. Got into this position last Thursday and held it over the weekend. And price was kind of moving sideways. It isn't a bit of profit, but just moving sideways, kind of waiting for price to decide where it wants to go next. And this morning, we did see a bit of a drop there for the JPY. So things are looking a little bit awkward. I will hold the trade through, win, lose, or draw. My stop loss is underneath that low. So worst case scenario, we continue to see momentum and I do get taken out for a loss. If that's the case, I'll take the loss and then reanalyze from there. And if we do see a strong daily candle closure, something like that today or tomorrow below this area, then that really does put a spanner in the works for my bullish bias, especially for Euro Yen, because we've had this long-standing upwards trend line. The market has been testing this level many times, as we can all see. So if we are starting to break through that, that does mean that not necessarily reversal, but we might see a bigger retracement than expected for Euro Yen. And some of other yen pairs have already done that. CAD Yen, for example, has already broken through its trend line. So maybe Euro Yen could be slowly working its way towards that. Dollar Yen, likewise as well. We've broken through this long-standing trend line. First test down there, second, third, fourth. We broke through that a while ago as well. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting because we've seen a really nice drop this morning, but something's telling me it's probably not over yet. And of course, that's across the board for the yen pairs as well. Is anyone trading any yen pairs at the moment? We'll take a look at gold next. Amrit, JETV. Hope you're doing well. Good morning. Good morning. PM here in the fill. I'm not sure what that means. William Currency Strength Index saying JPY is the strongest at the moment. Yeah, it probably would be. It probably would be at the moment. After that drop this morning, I think CHF is a little bit strong as well, but definitely not compared to JPY. Let me have a quick look at the JPY index, and then I'll take a look at gold. Okay, so we're in an area where we could bounce, so that is a good sign. Because I've been keeping a close eye on the JPY index because it's a really big tell sign of what price is going to do next in terms of the yen pairs. When the JPY Japanese index is heading up, we do see the yen pairs head up with it. If it's going down, of course, vice versa. But we have seen a really big move to the upside, creating new highs past this point here. And then since then, we have gone through a bit of a correction. So I do think with this one, now that we've had a pretty nice move down, we're coming back to test some of these areas. I do think we can find support and see some upside. How far we go, that's the next question. But generally speaking, on the higher time frames, market is still very, very bullish. So I would still be bullish on this one. As a result, I still expect the MPES to go higher eventually, but it's just how far will we pull back is the question. But yeah, at the moment, coming into some nice areas, I do think we can find some support here and possibly some upside as well. Maybe something like this back to that area, and then we can see what happens next. But if we do see something like that, that'll be fantastic. Anyway, let's take a look at gold. So yeah, gold, we finished off the week pretty bearish. I was speaking on gold quite a lot last week, and particularly about the weekly candle. As you can see there, it left a massive wick to the upside, just rejecting that area of resistance. So I said last Friday that if we do close similar to how we're looking now, which we did, there's a good chance that this week we will see some downside. And I do expect that to happen. I do expect that to happen because we had a really big breakout last week. It turned out to be a bit of a fake out. Yes, we did see some nice candle closures on the daily chart, but in the grand scheme of things, it just left behind a really big wick on the weekly. So I do think we'll see some downside this week, probably coming back down to some areas down here. And then this is kind of more an area where you're looking to buy the market. 2370 to 2340 is kind of the area where you're looking to catch your buys, because I do think most likely we will see gold push lower. Something like that, especially with all that momentum as well. A really strong move down. So I do expect to see a bit of a correction, a bit of a breather, because it was such a strong move. But I do think we'll see another drop. So it depends how you're looking to trade. If you're looking at day trading and you're trying to just trade the next kind of impulse or the next kind of swing in the market, or for the session even, I'll be looking at some selling opportunities on the lower time frames. Not that I am personally, but if I was looking for that move, probably something like this, another correction, then trying to find some sells as we push back up again. We do have some areas over here we can come back and retest, kind of like a head and shoulder pattern, if you will, for a really big head. So that'll be your left shoulder, that'll be your head, and that'll be your right. Effectively, you're just looking for that resistance to hold again and send price down. So yeah, for gold, I would expect more downside for maybe next 1, 2, 3 days, but I am still bullish longer term. So I do expect us to eventually fizzle out and put in that high low and start pushing back up again. So that's kind of what I'm looking for gold, and then something like this is where I want to get involved on a buy. So I have to be patient for that. It might take a few days to develop. Same thing with silver as well. Really big move to the downside. Really big move. And also we'll touch on the DXY because we've seen some interesting moves for the dollar pairs. But let me know what you're looking at for gold yourself. Where was I? What's up, Holy One of Israel? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Okay, Philippines. I was thinking Philadelphia. But Philippines, nice, wicked. Can't remember someone saying they're from Philippines before on the stream. So, I mean, probably not the first, but probably the first to mention. But yeah, hope everything is well with you. Manny, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Welcome, welcome. William took a position on your USD. Okay, broke structure. Okay, we'll go take a look at Euro USD as well. W Lady, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Yes, we'll take a look at CAD Yen as well. Morning, Pragasar. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Oh, in Taiwan. I had no idea you're in Taiwan, Manny. No idea, mate. That's all corners of the globe here. You got the UK, States, Kenya, South Africa, Taiwan, Philippines. That is wicked. Okay, so we'll take a look at Euro USD, DXY, and CAD Yen. So for Euro, I haven't really seen too much movement today. We kind of ended the week around there. A bit of a gap this over the weekend, but we've just been a bit flat. So William, do you say are you buying Euro USD or selling? One retest 1.08859. 8859, that's somewhere around here. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure which retest you're looking at. Is it on the? Let me know what time frame you're looking at as well, because I'm not too sure what retest, what level you're looking at retesting. Is it the high here, or is it on the lower time frames? But I'm looking for buys anyway. I do think Euro USD will likely to head higher. On my weekly analysis, I was mentioning this level back down here as a nice place for a buy. I'm still looking to see if we get there. If we do get there, fantastic. I'll be looking for opportunities. If we don't, we don't. There's other pairs I'm looking at, which I'll go through my watch list in a moment. But Euro USD, I'm looking for upside as well. But what I want to see is a retest of this structure first. We may just put a higher low in where you're buying William 1, 2, 3. We could do that and see another move higher. But I'm hoping we have a deeper correction, not for your sake, of course, but for mine. And then, yeah, I'll see what we can do. Maybe a push back to the highs and maybe beyond that as well. I'm looking at a lot more downside in the DXY. DXY looks like it's finding resistance here as well. So when I was talking about the DXY on the weekend, I mentioned a couple of areas where we could sell off from. This being one of them, and this being another. And at the moment, to be fair, it does look like we're really rejecting that area pretty well. Of course, whether we'll have the big drop or not, that's a different question, but we're definitely holding that area. And we could be seeing a third lower high and then the move down, which of course will correspond to Euro USD seeing that push higher. 1, 2, 3, sort of the same thing really. So I mean, if DXY does sell off from its current area and sees that lower high, then you expect Euro USD to do the opposite. So, for your sake, William, that's kind of what you're looking for. But if DXY does decide it wants to have a deeper retracement, again, worst case scenario, you take a loss, not the end of the world. There probably will be another entry to take advantage of, especially if you're looking at positive risk reward. If you do take a loss, you can make back your loss plus more in the next trade. And yeah, we might just push a little bit higher. This is the other area I was talking about on my weekly analysis as well, as a nice place for a sell at 104,500. So it's up to the DXY. Right now, it's doing a pretty good job at holding this trend line. So we could sell off from there. But this is really what I'm looking at personally. But yeah, I've got the same bias. I do think we can see a lot more downside for the DXY. It's just trying to catch that high. So yeah, I'm pretty bearish on it, but we shall see how things develop. But yeah, Euro looking at buys there. Pound USD, I'm looking at buys for this one. It's been a little bit sideways, but I'm liking it because it's slowing down. It was selling off quite heavily last week, but it's slowed down now, so I do like that. And hopefully you can come and test some areas here on the daily chart. 1.288, 1.284. This is generally the areas I'm looking at for buys. It's not quite there yet, so I'm not really interested in price. So I'm kind of hoping for one more push down, and then I'll see what we can do. What pairs? Yeah, so I'll take a look at CAD Yen as well. Yeah, my weekend was pretty good actually. Saw some friends, went go-karting as well actually. Hope your weekend was top notch as well. Okay, you're buying. Yeah, if you're buying, I've got a similar bias as well. It's just looking for a slightly deeper correction. Again, whether it will happen or not is yet to be seen, but this is the area which I'd rather buy from. So I'll wait and see if that happens. Morning, Sculpey. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Good morning. Juice Drop. Good morning. Hope you're well. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Pavanator, what is up? Aussie dollar. Yes. Big push down for Aussie dollar. It was on my watch list coming to the week, but we had a really big move down this morning. And actually check the news there. Was that some Aussie news? Was that some Aussie news that we had? because the dollar pairs in general, pound USD was quite sideways, Euro USD was quite sideways. USD CAD pushing up there, and USD a bit downside as well. CHF a little bit sideways too. But anyway, Aussie dollar big move down. I was looking to buy this one from this area. However, we're definitely doing a good job at breaking through that. So let's definitely put a pin in that idea for now. Now I'm still looking for a higher low, but it's broken both the levels I wanted to buy from. So it does mean that I'm kind of just sitting on the sidelines a bit and just kind of keeping an eye on Aussie dollar and seeing how it develops. Because at this rate, it might not want to actually see some upside. And the USD's also made an interesting move as well. So I'll touch upon that on that market in a second, and then we'll take a look at CAD before I forget. But yeah, this was my first level I was looking to buy from, didn't hold, and this was the second area I was looking to buy from, didn't hold either. I didn't take any trades because I didn't really see any good entry setups, so I didn't get a trade in. But yeah, both levels didn't hold, so we haven't broken through any pivotal structure yet. So it's not like I'm changing my bias, but I would have expected to hold. I mean, there is this area down here which we could come and test, but the further we come down, the less confidence I have that this will be a continuation back to the high, and more so it might just probably be a bounce for price to eventually maybe see a bigger move down. I mean, I don't mind that. I don't mind trading that bounce because, yeah, I can still profit on that move. I'll be trading my stop loss anyway, so maybe it is going to be a big move. Maybe it's just going to be a bounce for price to go lower. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'll be trading my stop loss for. So I'm not too worried about that. But my analysis has been I'm looking for a big swing to the high. But but as things have developed, I'm less confident with that. And we could actually be seeing something like this. And also, as the USD looks like it's pretty bearish as well. And I'll get to that in a moment. Let me just go through CAD yen. So yeah, CAD yen broke through a pretty long-standing trend line, 1, 2, 3, 4, starting from December last year. We were doing really, really well at holding that area, but we broke through last week. And I was looking to buy CAD yen last week. However, after that break, it has changed things. So again, on the weekly analysis, I was talking about price pushing back to this level here, back to that support level, 113.075, and looking for the retest of this area here for some more downside. This is the area I was talking about on my weekly analysis this weekend. Didn't quite see another test of that area. So it's like if you weren't in the trade, you probably would have missed out on it. But we are looking pretty bearish, and I do think we can see another drop back to 113, and then we go from there, because this has been solid support, 1, 2, and the second move gave us a humongous rally to the upside. So I do like this area a lot, but again, do I expect us to suddenly fly to the moon from here? Potentially, but I wouldn't bet on it. I think we can catch a nice bounce, and then we see what the market does. Maybe it just wants to roll over again. If that happens, we will adapt to that. But for now, this is a nice place for a buy if you're looking for bullish entries. And if you're bearish, kind of already want to be in the trade. We had these lower highs, 1, 2, potentially 3. So if you haven't already taken a short, I feel like you kind of missed the boat there. Next stop is probably some buys at 113. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with CAD yen. But yeah, yen pair is definitely looking very bearish at the moment. Okay, everything was quiet on Aussie side of things. Yeah, I'm not too sure why we took a big dive. Maybe it was reacting to the yen pairs. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's looking very, very bearish. Philip took a trade in Aussie dollar, stopped out. Yeah, it happens. It happens. You're going to take losses. Nothing's going to be perfect. I was looking to take the same trade. I just didn't really see an entry that fit the plan very well, so I didn't actually manage to take the trade. But if I did see a good entry, I would have taken the trade as well. But yeah, there was nothing there of much conviction for me. So stayed out the way. But again, no trade is guaranteed. It was a good setup, getting to a nice area. High time frames look good. There was momentum in the market, so I like the setup as well, but it just didn't play out. Now you take the loss, move on to the next trade. Oh, he did sell last week when it was bullish. Okay, fair play. Just eat my eggs as you always do, Scorpio, as you always do. Is that the third meal of the day? About to go to the second gym session. Okay, nice, Pavinator. Is that the selling Aussie dollar? Okay, so I'll touch on NZUSD because I said I'll mention that one because that one's actually looking pretty bearish. And considering that NZUSD and Aussie dollar are very, very similar currency pairs, and they normally head in the same direction, it does look like maybe NZUSD has committed to the downside, and maybe Aussie dollar is going to look to follow behind it. Because I'm looking at the weekly chart, and first things first, we had a really big candle last week for NZUSD breaking out this range. So as we can see here, the market, we can't see. Now we can. So as you can see, we were ranging in this area for quite a while, and price finally did break to the downside there with a humongous candle last week. So I'm expecting that momentum to spill over into this week and continue that momentum, maybe possibly back to that low. I think we can consider that later on, but there's definitely a lot of momentum to the downside from that previous weekly candle. So I think there's a very good chance that we do see NZUSD push on this week, even if you do leave a big wick to the upside. In fact, that would be nice because that means entries. But yeah, NZUSD is looking really bearish, and I'm zooming out, looking at the bigger picture for this one as well. Are we forming another lower high like we've been doing for quite a while? Possibly. Again, that's been the picture for quite a while. High, lower high, lower high, lower high. And as we can see, we've been doing that continuously. I'm looking at Aussie dollar as well, which we have been doing that as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is this another one? Possibly. The fact is we failed to respect a lot of structure on the lower time frames. So I wouldn't be surprised if it is. So if I'm looking to short them, I'd rather look to short NZUSD because it looks a lot cleaner. But it might mean that Aussie dollar is going to follow suit, which is probably why the buys failed. So yeah, touching on NZUSD going into this week, what I would be looking for this one, because this one has really given us some really nice bearish structure now. Nice impulse there to the downside, correction, impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. So NZUSD, something like this would be nice. Maybe retesting that low, looking for that next entry. And yeah, looking to ride that to the downside, possibly back to the area down there, just below 0.59. So yeah, going forward at NZUSD, would be looking at some sells for this one. We've been very consistent with the lower highs, and I would expect that to continue. So yeah, if NZUSD is going to make that move, then of course Aussie dollar is likely going to follow suit. But then again, does that mean that dollar is going to be strong? Could be. Could be. Again, we don't want to try and predict too much as well. We don't want to try and predict too much because that's not really what trading is. Trading is you get to the markets, you either looking for a buy or a sell, depending on whatever analysis or confidence you're looking for, and then you're finding entries to trade that. Whether the market will go up or down is not necessarily irrelevant, but you want to focus on the opportunity itself. So you don't want to concern yourself too much. Is the market going to go here or going to go there? Of course, you want to have a rough idea of where you're expecting it to go, but you should be able to trade in both directions. So whether it does fulfill that bias or not, it's not the end of the world. You can still take trades in the opposite direction if things change. So you don't want to concern yourself too much about where the market is going to go, because at the end of the day, it's going to make you very, very stressful. But yeah, we'll be looking to take some shorts there for NZUSD. And that at the moment with pound USD is my favorite dollar pairs, although the The funny thing is I'm looking to buy pounds and looking to sell USD. So yeah, a little bit of conflicting biases between the dollar, which is not great. Darkshon, yes, we'll take a look at pound CHF, no problem. Okay, selling as done, nice. How far are you looking to hold that? Because we've seen a really big move as of late. How far are you looking to hold that position? Do you have a target in mind, or are you just trading and see how far you can take it? Okay, second, only one session today. Keep it humble. Sculpey, what would you say is your favorite muscles to exercise? Trade what you see, not what you think. Amen. 100%. Trade what you think. See, not what you think. Yeah, because sometimes you can, of course, have that own bias of where you expect the market to go, and then you only going to have to take trades in that direction, and you kind of become blinded to everything else, which is not a good place to be in. Okay, so with pound CHF pairs have been pretty bearish. Yeah, pretty bearish last week. Pound CHF hasn't really developed much. We've kind of been moving sideways, but as I touched upon last week, this to me looks like price is just forming a big head and shoulder pattern. I do think we'll see another drive lower. Because I was looking to buy this one on the retest of this structure here last week, but the way it came into the level, it has kind of broken underneath and is now kind of using it as resistance, which is not what I want it to do. I wanted to use it as support. So now that we've done that, we've had quite a few rejections here. It's not the best price action in the world, but we are definitely holding that level. So I do think there's a good chance we will see some more downside. Full pound CHF, maybe it's waiting on some catalyst, some news catalyst to get it going and break out of that range. But to me, there's like a good chance of some more downside. So if you're looking to get involved with it, I suppose if price does have another push up and we push closer to the high there, then it's a nicer place for a stop loss, above the high. It's not the best pullback in the world, but it might be the only pullback we see for pound CHF before we do have a continuation. So that could be a nice place for an entry there, at least on the hourly chart. And yeah, I would expect to move down. How far we will go? I think I would try and play it safe, to be honest. I feel like even a push to this area would make a lot of sense. Nothing too crazy, and then we see what price wants to do next. Still holding Bitcoin longs from where? Where did you enter, Eric? Yeah, probably back. I would agree as well. I don't know, actually, it'll be between chest and back for me. I have equal love for both of them. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for pound CHF. We had a big drop last week for the CHF pairs, and they're still looking pretty bearish to me. What's up, Rick? Hope you are well. Good morning. Also holding Bitcoin longs. Okay, a lot of people trading Bitcoin from 57K, targeting 75 and beyond. Okay, 75, I assume that is the swing high for Bitcoin, the all-time high. No, it's not. All-time high, well, at least here, is 73,700. So you're targeting the all-time high, basically. So yeah, I mean, again, we were touching upon Bitcoin quite a lot, not last week, but the week before. I mean, even last week as well. But we did come to that low end of that channel. Really nice rejection, and the market has really used that as a springboard to rally higher. So for me, for Bitcoin, it looks relatively bullish, and I would expect market structure like this to break higher. We have a lot of momentum in this move. This looks like a healthy correction to me, so naturally I would expect some follow through. The only thing is, which I don't like about Bitcoin, is that we're kind of trading in that resistance there, which makes things a little bit awkward. So it's gonna be interesting to see what we do in that third test of that channel. If we break through, then I think we'll probably hit 75K and beyond. If we start struggling here, then there is a world where we do come straight back down. If this price action here was just like higher up, so trading above the high or even below it, I'll be a lot more confident that we'll just see the follow through. The only thing I don't like is that we're trading at that previous all-time high and we're finding it so difficult to break through. That's the only thing I don't like about Bitcoin's price action. If this was just up there or down there, perfect. But nonetheless, it's a really nice impulse. I'm looking at this as a correction, so I would expect us to continue. I'll just keep an eye on roughly 70K. I think that will be a make or break area for Bitcoin, whether we're going to come down or just go and break through that. And if we do, then we most likely will hit 75K, see a new all-time high. And who knows, maybe 100K, which is all the way up there. Who knows? But I mean, it's looking like a really nice position. So hopefully we can get the ball rolling again with Bitcoin. How's Ethereum looking? Yeah, Ethereum's just a bit awkward. It would have been nice to long it from here, but it never made the move. So that's kind of where I'm at with Bitcoin, but it is looking pretty good, I must say. My stomach's rumbling. Hope the mic hasn't picked that up. Okay, I was going to say, but back took it just slightly. Yeah, I think a lot of people do prefer back and chest, but I think back does edge it for a lot of people. I don't know. I'm a bit on both. Sometimes I really enjoy back. Sometimes I really enjoy chest. It's never really a chore. What's your favorite pair this week? Like the setup you're waiting for? Good question. I probably would say it's NZD USD or pound USD. Pound USD buys or NZD USD sells, which is again doesn't really correlate in terms of my bias. Because one pair I'm looking to sell dollar, the other I'm looking to buy it, but I'll see how things set up. Because most likely they won't both give me good opportunities. You see, but NZD USD sells will set up nicely, or pound USD buys will set up nicely, and if they do, I'll take the trade. But with NZD USD, I'm looking for a big sell. I touched upon this one just before, but I'm looking for a lot more downside. We're seeing some nice bearish structure come into play. Full hour, seeing some really nice swings there. So a bunch of lower highs there. I'm looking for hopefully another one this week, another pullback. Maybe retest this low, maybe that low there. We'll see how far we pull back, but the aim is to catch the next lower high for another swing, and hopefully we can see another big drop to the downside. And pound USD, I'm looking for the opposite because we've had a really big rally to the upsides over the past few days. I'm looking for us to pull back, retest some structure around this area here, 1.29. Looking for that next high low, and then I'm looking for us to return back to the high and possibly the high all the way up there as well. So to me, pound USD looks like a really good buy. It ticks a lot of boxes, high time frames back it as well. There's a lot of momentum in that impulse leg, so it looks healthy. Looks like looks like there's a good chance to see that continue. We've really been moving correctively, and we've got a massive high up there, which I think price is likely to go and test anyway. So pound USD buys look good to me. And NZUSD sells, although, like I said, it does conflict each other. So I probably won't end up taking both, just see whichever sets up well, and I'll take the trade. Because again, I'm not trying to predict the market, even though a lot of my analysis, I'm trying to find the likely direction the market heads in. I'm not trying to predict it either. I just want to find a good setup to trade, really. Whether that is short or long, it doesn't really matter. So NZUSD shorts, pound USD longs. I'm still in Euro Yen, which is not moving too well, especially after the drop this morning. But hey, hasn't stopped me out yet. So the dream is still alive. I'll keep managing that trade accordingly. Haven't trailed stop loss or done anything. My stop loss is still where it is from last week, just below the wick low there. Held this over the weekend, so yeah, we'll see how things going. But as we all saw, JPY was very, very strong this morning. Big drops to the downside for all of them. And yeah, it just missed me out. So maybe we do keep pushing on. We'll have to wait and see, but I'll manage that trade as well. Other yen pairs, I'm not really looking to trade. I think whilst I'm in Euro yen, I'll kind of just focus on that, let that play out to either a loss or a win. And then I'll start looking at other yen pairs again, because they're basically done the same move. Big drop down. See if they're going to continue that momentum or slightly reverse it. No need to overcomplicate things. So I'll just wait for that trade to play out. And then CHF pairs I'm not really focused on. Actually, apart from NZCHF, it's just that this one, I need a big pullback. So I'll start looking at it more closely when we start pulling back, because at the moment we're still falling. So when it does start to pull back, I'll look at it more closely. But for New Zealand CHF, again, really strong weekly candle close to the downside. I do think we can continue to sell off. What I'm looking for personally is another pullback somewhere, and then a lower high. Yeah, but that might take a while to get going. But the idea of being bearish and looking for a short makes a lot of sense to me. So I'll keep an eye on New Zealand CHF. Then yeah, none of the crosses I'm really interested in. CAD pairs, not really either. And then yeah, I was looking at silver a lot and gold a lot last week, but some unexpected moves have changed things. So gold, I'm still waiting for a buy, but that's going to take a while to set up. So I'm not going to try and waste my energy and focus on gold's moves if I'm not interested to trade it just yet. And same thing with silver as well. Silver, I think there's still a little bit more juice to go to the downside to test that low. And I'll see what silver's next move is. Only yen pair looks strong as CHF JPY. Relatively, yeah. I mean, that was just me moving sideways, really consolidating. So, I mean, other yen pairs have been falling, whilst this one has just been moving sideways. So yeah, I kind of agree, but yeah, it hasn't been moving well either. I mean, the price action there is not really convincing me to trade it. If it was to suddenly break bullish, that's a different ballgame. But yeah, right now, very, very sideways. In general, the yen pairs aren't looking very well, at least for the buyers anyway. What's up, Les Sogo? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are well. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on pound USD and NZUSD because those are top of the list for me at the moment. And Aussie dollar was at the top of the list as well, but after that move this morning, it's definitely corrected things. So not interested with that pair anymore, as the setup is now invalid, but NZUSD has taken its place anyway. So again, not really too interested about trying to predict everything in the market, just waiting for a good opportunity. If it's going to happen in this pair or this pair, doesn't really bother me. I don't really have any favorites that I'll exclusively look to trade. But yeah, Euro NZD, Euro Aussie, these have been so bullish. I was looking to short Euro Aussie last week, didn't set up to how I wanted it to, and yeah, thankfully kept me out of the trade. I was looking to short around here, but yeah, just stayed bullish, bit of a correction, and it's been on its way. And that's one of the strengths of waiting for an entry signal, waiting for price to show you, okay, we're likely to roll over, than just setting an order. Of course, orders do have its perks because you can set it and kind of forget about it, really, put your stop loss in or whatever, and go about your day. And if price triggers it, it triggers it. It's in the trade. You don't have to stress about it. Whereas if you're looking at market execution, you have to wait for the signal to happen. That means you have to be at the chart, so you can't just go about your day. you have to be ready to take the trade. But then again, it does keep you out of some unnecessary losses, because there will be times where price just flies really aggressively and just knocks your stop loss in one swift move. And if you wait for some type of rejection, you could have probably avoided that loss. But again, it's there's no correct decision. It's just what you prefer. There's successful traders who set limits, set limit orders, and there's successful traders who use market execution. You choose what you want to be. Game City view on Aussie CAD and dollar CHF intraday. Okay. Let me know what you're looking at for them as well. Intraday, I mean, technically 4 hour would be intraday, but we'll go hourly chart. So yeah, with Aussie CAD, higher time frames have been pretty bullish, although it does look like we may be topping out and we could be going through some downside here for Aussie CAD and more downside as well. To me, this looks like a reversal. So we've had a really nice move up, continuation, and now price is giving us strong moves down. So I would expect more downside off the back of that. In terms of a nice trade, I want to see some pullbacks happening, maybe even a retest of this area, and then I'll look for a short, because effectively all I'm trying to do is catch that next lower high, and something like this would be nice. A nice correction, one last move up, testing some support, and then we see some resistance there, and that could be a really nice continuation. So that's kind of what would interest me for Aussie CAD intraday. 15-minute is a little bit more cloudy. I mean, 15-minute, we might not see as big of a pullback there on the hourly. We could see something like this, another push up, and then some downside. So something like that could be good on the 15. Looking for another lower high. So if you're intraday, that could be something you keep an eye out for. But from an hourly perspective, I'll be looking at that. But yeah, sales is what I'll be after. And by the looks of it, sales for you as well. So yeah, I agree with that one for Aussie CAD. Again, Aussie CAD definitely not my favorite pair. I'm looking at the higher time frames, and by the looks of it, it does look like we're forming a lower high. So I would anticipate more downside. It's not concrete, doesn't look that great, to be honest. There are better pairs out there in my eyes, but I would anticipate a lower high forming. So yeah, shorts look the best to me. In terms of dollar CHF, assume sells is dollar CHF as well for your bias. And yeah, sells do make sense. The only thing I don't like is that we're respecting that low there pretty much on a dime. By the way, guys, if you are enjoying the content, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're finding it useful. Make sure you hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. What is up, more? Welcome to the stream, bro. Hope you are doing good. But yeah, for UCHF, the only thing I don't like about it is that we are respecting the low here. If we broke through that, that'll be a lot more convincing from the bears, because we had a strong break of structure. You would likely expect that trend to continue. The fact is we came back low, came to the low, respected it, and had a pretty big bounce. Not the best thing. Doesn't mean we can't later break through it. But that reversal is definitely on the card. So yeah, sales look good as well. I would say keep an eye on this low, because I like how the fact we are very corrective at the moment. We might push up, take out some people who got into the trade a little bit too early. So there will be liquidity above here. We can go and take that out, test some structure, and then be on our way. So this could be a really nice area to sell from. You got some nice confluence there, taking out some early traders there as well, and that could give you a nice move, potentially back to that low, but you could just look for a quick day trade. Back to some structure around there. That'll be up to you to decide. But in terms of a solid place for an entry, I would suggest that level there, 0.89157. Looks pretty good to me. So yeah, that's what I'll be looking at for Aussie CAD and USD CHF. Yeah, more. What's going on with Euro Yen, mate? Euro Yen doesn't look like it's playing ball. But yeah, UCHF, I'll be looking at another move lower, but I would want to move higher first. But yeah, Euro Yen doesn't look like it's playing ball at all. Same with the other yen pairs as well. Across the board, it might mean that we're going through a deeper correction before price maybe wants to go bullish later on. I know you're not bothered. You're not bothered by it. So you're just gonna let price do what it needs to do, give it its room to breathe. But I've got my stops in below that low. So if I do get stopped out and price does break through that trend line, I would want to be out the market anyway. Again, I'm not necessarily saying the market's gonna go bearish because this is still the higher low for me that gave us that high. So technically speaking, we can kind of swing anywhere within this region and still go on and push on. But I just mean I have to rethink my trade idea before I do place a trade. Yeah, as a position this morning, okay. Don't want to look at it open position for a buy. Yeah, I know you're looking just for that longer term swing, so you're not really too interested about the day to day swings and day to day movements of the yen. And I hear that. I hear that 100%. I'm a little bit more micro than you, so those swings I'm definitely aware about. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you have that long term bias, you're expecting the yen pairs to continue up, you're expecting euro yen to continue up back to the high, and you're willing to hold through that drawdown and hold through some pullbacks, then and if that's your plan, then of course see out that plan. See out that plan. But some yen pairs are having bigger pullbacks than others. Look at ends of the yen as well, really having a big move down. But again, if you do expand to the bigger time frames, look at the bigger picture. You know, a move like that is very, very much expected. We're not going to just move in one direction forever. We're going to have our pullbacks. It's what the FX markets does. It's what all markets does. We will eventually have that pullback. So movement like this is to be expected. And especially after the prolonged move, you're going to expect to see harder and deeper corrections as well. So it's all part of the game. But even for this market, I'll still be looking at buys at one point, at some point, for the market to push back up again. Could be some nice sells in the low time frames though, whilst you're waiting. But yeah, very, very heavy move this morning. All right, William, have a good one, my man. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow. Not going to do every day like you brush your teeth. Yeah, I mean, I admire that. I admire that. To be fair, more. I mean, for me, it's just a rule I have with every trade I take that I'm going to use a stop loss. And again, I don't focus on a particular currency pair. I will trade a wide range and just see whichever fits my criteria the best is the market I'll take a trade on. And yeah, I mean, last week it happens to be euro yen. That was the better pair. But yeah, if you're going to have that plan and you know what you're doing, you're happy with the downside, the upside, and of course, see out that plan and brush your teeth as well. Mighty King, yes, I had a look at Aussie CAD. If you scroll back like 3-4 minutes, you will see the analysis to Aussie CAD. No, I'm still in the trade. I'm still in the trade more. I was very, very close to taking me out actually. My stop loss is just underneath that low here. Underneath the low here. So it spiked down pretty close, but it pulled back up. But to be honest, I'm not very confident that we will suddenly just fly to the moon. I feel like there's a good chance price will probably fill that wick and probably push down again. And then that move might take me out of the trade. But yeah, we'll see how things get on. But yeah, that 4-hour candle is not looking great. Not looking great at all. But yeah, I'm still in the position and I'll hold through. Stop loss is there. So it's I'll hold it through. If it does take me out, takes me out, I'll reanalyze and go again. Might see another entry signal, I might hop straight back in. But the key thing for me is the daily chart, because if the daily chart starts closing below this area like that, then that is a big red flag to me. Not necessarily, again, that we're reversing, but it just means that that buy setup is invalid and we could be going for a bigger move lower. And if anything, I might take some counter opportunities as well. But yeah, if that does happen, then I'll probably switch over to pound yen, which looks like it still does have some structure we haven't tested yet. And I like how this one is retracing as well, because it's still very, very corrective. Nice move down, correction. Nice move down, correction. Probably another move down. Hopefully a nice buy. And I think we do line up with a nice daily chart, daily trend line as well. So first test, second test, yeah, third test there as well. So yeah, that to me looks like a nice setup as well. So if pound yen wants to push down and I do get taken out of euro yen, then I'll probably focus over to pound yen. So so more, where would you say that the trade has failed, or the idea you have has failed for your euro yen position? Do you have like an area where you would say, okay, the trend isn't up anymore, or I'm going to close out the positions? Because I'm wondering how much room are you giving euro yen to breathe before you'd say, okay, the trend isn't up anymore, or it's just time to close. Maybe not necessarily the trend isn't up, but yeah. Because for me, I always take my trades on candlestick closures and I always put my stop loss underneath that low. So it might mean I do get stopped out in the first trade, but then I take another trade and that trade might work. And the risk reward normally helps cover it. But I know for you, you trade slightly differently. But yeah, I mean, again, there's no right or wrong, but if you're going to trade the way you do, you have to be very, very disciplined about exiting the market, because I know quite a few people who be too stubborn to close their trades. Okay. Keep buying it. Okay, wow. So you're just expecting that to go up. So it's either you're right or you're wrong, basically. There's no do-overs or second chances. Fair play, mate. That takes some cojones. I don't think I could do that. What's up, Lauda? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. But yeah, no one's perfect. No one's perfect. You can still get the move wrong. Even if you've done it for the past 30 years, you can still get the move wrong as well. I mean, I'm not saying you have. I mean, I'm still very bullish as well for Euro yen too. But things do happen, and especially since you already had a very successful start to the year with the previous yen positions as well. But yeah, things can change quickly, especially in the FX world. It feels like indices, which pretty much only do move up. I can fully get behind that because despite every correction we've ever had, the market has always found a higher low and always gone up. If you look at S&P, US 30, every time we do push down, we do eventually find that higher low. So you're pretty much almost guaranteed from that market to push up at some point. But the yen, over the past like 5 years, we have done that, but there's always a time when we will change direction at some point. Not saying it's now, and I don't expect it to be now either. I do think we will find a higher low at some point and push on. But yeah. Yeah, exactly, Sculpey. If that's the way you want to tackle it, then you know, do 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 what you need to do. Last time 700 pips down, keep it buying it, nothing scary, it's just normal, just another day in the office. Euro yen, please make your mind up. Yeah, um, I concur as well. I mean, I'm not going to say the 4 hour candle did not close particularly well. It did not close particularly well. If I hide that, I wouldn't be surprised if you feel that to the downside. But yeah, I'm gonna see the trade out regardless. So we shall see. He doesn't want to make its mind up yet, but it looks yeah, by the looks of things, yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. Same with kind of the other yen pairs as well. But personally, I don't really like how it's closed. I think it's either it continues to fall, or for some reason the yen pair has decided it just wants to go up, and we're just going to see a really big candle because that's what's kind of happened, really. The yen pairs don't look great, but then suddenly it just decides it wants to go up. Like here, for example, we had a massive candle going down. It's not looking too good, but the yen pairs just say, nope, we are going up, and we just keep pushing. So I think like we're kind of waiting for something like that to kick back in. I mean, we're still holding some confidence. We're still above that trend line, still more or less trading at that support level. So, if the buyers are successful here, we would expect to see momentum creep back in. But at the moment, it's not looking too hot. USD sitting at resistance. Okay, I'll take a look at USD. Haven't really been focusing on that pair much. If you guys are enjoying the content, by the way, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. Check out the free Discord channel linked at the top of the chat. You can't miss it. Feel free to check that out for ideas, trade ideas, discussions. Yeah, check it out if you want. And make sure to hit the bell on the channel as well so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads because you will be notified. Based on the daily setup, okay, expect Euro yen to buy tomorrow. I mean, hopefully, I'm in a position. I wouldn't mind that. Let me have a quick look at the news. See what we're working with. Okay. Okay, so minor dollar news tomorrow. That's about it. Wednesday, Aussie news. A bunch of PMI for pound and euro. Dollar as well. Okay, Bank of Canada interest rate. That'll be interesting. Thursday, jobless claims, GDP for dollar. Nothing really much for the JPY this week. Well, at least in terms of this economic calendar, because sometimes the JPY doesn't always listen to this economic calendar. And then PC on Friday. So not much this week. Bank of Canada, maybe watch out for a bunch of PMI here and there and GDP as well. So that might move the market a bit too. But nothing crazy. Anyway. So yeah, we'll take a look at USD Darkashon. More robots can never win over humans. We made them. Yeah, but the only thing about robots though is that they don't have to deal with emotions. But I hear the logic though. But sometimes humans can be a bit stupid, and a human can have a well thought out plan of what they want to do in the market and what they're looking to do. Then suddenly out of nowhere, a bit of fear kicks in, or a bit of greed. That whole plan that they put together, that took them a while to put together, just goes out the window, and they either double up or exit position too early, whatever. Yeah, that's the kind of the main edge a robot has over the humans, is that they don't have to deal with that emotional side of things. So yeah, USD is back at that high. USD is back at that high. So I don't know. Yeah, it is at a nice place to sell because you definitely don't want to be buying here at all. We've had a really nice swing to the upside, a lot of momentum there. So if you're not in the buy, you're not in the buy. If you're looking to get involved, the only thing that makes sense to me is looking for a sell position at this area. I think there is a world where we do eventually break through and push back to the high here. Just because if we were going to have a big reversal, I would have expected this to just continue completely, but it didn't. It respected the low pretty well and pushed up. So in my book, this uptrend is still intact, and I think we're probably going to push back to the high and do something like this at some stage. So I do think the sales will only be temporary. It's at a nice area. The market's quite stretched, so I do think we will react, but I think we'll most likely put a higher low in to keep pushing up. But nonetheless, if we do react, even if we react to say like here, that's still a decent move and a move worth trading. But I do think we'll eventually break through, if not even break through now. So yeah, you can be looking for sells. I mean, in terms of entries, I'll probably wait for a 4-hour close to show me some rejection because it's a pretty big level. So I won't use kind of the hourly chart because hourly could give you a lot of false signals. Same with the low time frames. If you could see a nice 4-hour bearish engulfing candle, that would be nice. And take an entry, something like this, stop loss above the high, and trying to take some downside from the back of that. That would make sense to me. So yeah, it's a nice place for a sell. Keep an eye out for some rejection. Looks like we're starting to see it, but I wouldn't say it's there yet. And then yeah, we'll see how far we can take it. But it's definitely a nice place for a sell. Did you say support? Yeah, resistance. Do you think we'll break through? So yeah, I do think eventually we'll break through, but I think we'll probably have a bit of a breather first, which is most likely going to be have a retracement. Then I think we'll eventually break through back to that high. Just chill, guys. Chilling is the key to succeed. Yeah, patience, and a calm head is vital in trading. I think you just need to have patience and calmness with whatever your plan is, really. Like even if your plan is to go crazy on a position, if that was your plan, see out that plan. The worst thing you can do is have a plan and then derail from that plan. That's the worst thing. Even if the plan was just average at the beginning, at least see out the average plan. Because if you want to change the plan, don't necessarily change what you're doing. whilst you're trading. And that's where the patience, the chillness, if you want to say that, or the calmness comes in. Lauder, yes, I'll take a look at NAS 100, looking for a sell setup. Okay. I'll take TP. Okay, NAS, S&P, they look good as well. Yeah. A new book by Jen Sincero. Sincero. Yeah, can't say I've heard about that. Or of the author. Yeah, that's true as well. That's true. It does kind of make you feel like you're missing out on something and cause unnecessary stress as well. I mean, the way I trade, I create a watch list. I mean, I do go through a lot of pairs here, but it's mainly because people are asking for me to look at pairs. But if it was just me trading right now, only two pairs I'll be considering right now is NZUSD and Pound USD. So that'll be the only two pairs I'll be looking at least for today anyway. But yeah, I definitely hear that in terms of looking at a lot of pairs and kind of getting distracted by it if you don't really know what you're looking to do. And yeah, I've experienced that a lot as well. I've been guilty of doing that quite a lot. But just by creating a watch list helped reduce that massively. And just creating plans of what you're looking to do. If you're going to look at 3-4 pairs, what's your plan for those pairs? If you have a plan of if anything's setting up, then you just wait for that plan to come into play. If you're looking to sell from here, you're waiting for price to get there and you start selling. If you get your entry, you just want to kind of make things black and white to a degree. Anyway, let me look at NAS 100 for Lauder. So you said you're looking for a sell setup. So yeah, we have seen a big move down. I actually was talking about a sell setup last week on a retest of this area, but yeah, no retest at all. Again, everything is still very bullish with NAS, so higher time frames, I do think eventually we'll put that higher low and push higher again, as we've always done. However, based on the price action we've seen last week, I do think some counter trend shorts do look good. I'm not too sure if we'll get up here. I think I think it's a big ask now. I think pull back all the way up there might not be likely anymore. If it does happen, fantastic. I still think it's a nice place for a sell, but I think that's a pretty big pullback to ask for. If it does, cool. If it doesn't, it doesn't, because I'm not really seeing anywhere else where I would rather sell. Because again, I don't want to be selling for too long because, like I said, I do think the market will push higher. But something like that would be nice. Maybe even a retest of this area here, because that kind of gives you your head and shoulder, left head and then right shoulder. So, preferably speaking, I would want to sell up at this area, but a short around here does make some sense as well. But we'll be looking at pullback on a short, which I think is what you're looking at as well, Lauder. Some upside and a short down. I mean, let me know the specifics behind the levels or the areas you want to sell from. But for me, I'd say 20K, pretty much on the dot, and 2150. Yeah, anywhere around there, some nice entries, some nice rejection. I think that could line up for a nice sell. But really nice momentum last week, expecting a pullback and some more follow through. Okay, page 114, Rich Dad Poor Dad, starting on Saturday. Too bad I forget how many pages it has. But yeah, Rich Dad Poor Dad is a great book. Great book. Read it ages ago, so probably do need to reread it. I mean, I know that the rough ideas of the book. Okay, looking for what analyze. Yeah, I mean, it looks good. It does look good there for Nas. It does look good. How's S&P doing? So S&P has seen some downside as well, but nothing to the same degree as with Nas. So I wouldn't really be looking to sell S&P. S&P still looks very bullish to me. In fact, as we come back into this area, I'll actually be looking for a buy. And we've already had some type of reaction as well. But this was the level I was talking about buys about quite a while ago. When we had the first breakout, I said a retest of this would be a nice place for a buy. Didn't sit up. It didn't set up. Price just rallied, but it has come back finally. So I would suggest, again, looking for buys as the best bet. We may come back to structure around here and start to have issues, maybe pull back down again. So that could be a nice place for some targets to trail stop loss. Depends how you manage your positions, of course. But I would still expect to see a push higher. US 30 was very bullish. Yeah, very, very bullish. It's taken a bit of a dive as well. But last week we had a big, big push up higher. We do have this swing high here, which could be a nice place for a buy. So yeah, I would still be bullish on US 30 as well. Not the biggest fan of this pullback because we had a pretty big impulse, then another big impulse down. So I'm not a big fan of that, how we're moving. But I would still be looking for a higher low somewhere, even potentially back down here too. So something like that, or something like that would interest me. Again, I don't trade the indices, but if I did, that is what I'd be looking at. But yeah, sells for NAS look the best. Yeah, it is a bit counter trend, but again, looking for just a correction, one drop, and then maybe from there we turn bullish slowly, and we start looking for buys again. Two times a day, once in the morning, and the second in the evening. Okay. Yeah, but it depends what people are looking for. If you're looking for like a big swing, if you're looking for a big swing in the market, and you're looking for 400, 700 pips, which is what you're looking for, then it makes sense to look at the charts less and be a bit more laid back from that perspective, because you want to give the chart room to breathe. Because if you're always going to look at it, 10, 20 times a day, then of course it's going to be very, very difficult to manage a long-term position because you're always looking at the markets, you're looking at every single tick. It will drive you crazy eventually. But if you're a bit more active and you're looking for, 50, 100 pips or 20 pips or 10 pips, then of course it's going to be a bit more active on the charts. It just depends what you're looking for and your style of trading. But I think in general, most people would benefit from looking at the charts less. I think that's in general, no matter what style of trading you have. I think generally people really look at the charts too much. Now Scalpy, you just literally had your second about half an hour ago. Is it some more eggs? Hey, what's up, Tony Gold? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well, bro. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, I like that. Wow, giving yourself 6, 7 hours before you even look at the chart. Very, very laid back. And again, to be fair, you probably don't want to look at the charts as well first thing you do when you wake up either, because you will be a little bit groggy. Your brain's not fully functioning yet as well. So leave giving yourself some time to wake up properly, get your alertness up, make sure everything's firing in all cylinders, and then you can look at the charts. I think that's just generally a good bit of advice as well. Yeah, I fully agree. I fully agree with scalping. Looking at the charts all the time will definitely cause more damage than good. What's up, Chris? Welcome to the stream. I am doing good. Hope you are well too. Yeah, that's true as well, Order. That's very true. Yeah, people will have different goals based on the capital size as well. Again, if you do have a larger account, then you don't have to force. I think force is the wrong word. You don't have to be looking for as much success in the market, because even a marginal gain could be a decent sized pot of money. So you don't really have to be looking for anything crazy. Your returns don't have to be crazy. In general, you can be a lot more relaxed, because small percentage growth is still a decent return. If you're going to have a very small account and you need to really stretch that to actually make some decent money, of course it's going to be a little bit more difficult there. But I think in general, you always want to think in the long term. If you have a small account, don't think about tomorrow or this week or next week or next year even. If you have a small account, your success will come in the next probably 3 to 5 years of decent capital and decent returns. Um, you have to be realistic with yourself. Of course, you're not going to have $100 account and be making 5, 10K a month from that. Of course you won't. So you have to be realistic with your goals and where you see them coming from. And I think if you understand that fully, now will make you a little bit more calm in the markets, because okay, I'm not going to turn this into whatever in the next week. So I'm going to take this slow. Sure, you have to be fairly active, but no need to rush anything. There's a fine line between the two, and you'll get where you need to be. But yeah, definitely capital size will of course play a big role as well. PC still closed from Friday. How is your yen? Yeah, barely moved. How's pound USD? Still looking a little bit bullish, but hasn't moved much either. Ends the USD. It's a nice drop, but I just need to pull back. So yeah, ends the USD and pound USD look the best. Of course, I'll keep managing euro yen. Aussie dollar, I was looking to long that one, to be honest, today, but by the time I woke up, price was trading already around here. I was looking to buy from this area, so that's pretty much gone out the bin. Um, but USD looks good, so that's kind of where my attention has focused over towards. So see how that gets on. Euro USD, I'll keep an eye out for this area. I still like that as a buy. But yeah, that's about it for me anyway. Okay, healthy one, high protein yogurt, dry oats, frozen. Oh, okay. Top with honey. That's not, I mean, I don't really like yogurt, to be fair, but the way you just worded that and described it, it sounds good. Yeah, that does sound decent, but I don't really like yogurt. But yeah, that's completely correct. All gonna have different starting points as well. What makes sense to one trade will make sense to another one. So you have to be you have to be realistic, understand where you're at as well, and what your goals are and how long it's going to take you to get there realistically as well. Um, yeah, I think if you just understand that and internalize that well, then it'll make trading a lot easier. Because if you're trying to get from A to B and try and do it in the quickest way possible, then normally it's a fast way to blowing up. Monday's always a sleepy day for them. Yeah, Monday doesn't normally move too much. I'm pretty sure Sculpey takes Mondays off and doesn't trade. Again, Sculpey and Moore, completely two different styles of trade. Completely two different styles. I know Sculpey sometimes does swing trade. But yeah, Monday's normally quite slow. Testy. Um, change Sculpey to foodie. Yeah, to be fair, it does talk about food quite a lot. It's always hungry. How's the XY looking? Okay, not too much. I mean, it's pretty exactly where we left it. I'm respecting that area pretty well. So, see if we have that bigger pullback to test that high and then we take a move down, or we do something like this. Either which way, though, I like what we're seeing. And if dollar is going to take a big dive here, then that probably means that ends the USD trade idea I have fails. And I see some nice moves on pound USD. Yeah. I know you mainly focus on scalping, but I remember your CAD seat chef position. Yeah, to be fair, I think it's a good exchange. To be fair, smoking for food, at least healthier food anyway. He scalps the mills. Silver's looking very bearish as well. I wasn't expecting that from Silver last week. I mean, this was a big red flag how everything's set up because it looked like a really nice head and shoulder pattern. Left head, right shoulder. So that was a big red flag. But I was still looking to see if I can catch some buys in the retest of this area. It did have a brief bounce, but again, even that was quite corrective. Managed to stay at the market and we had a big follow through there. So bit awkward there from Silver. A bit awkward. But we'll see on what we do on the retest of that low. Because I'm still very, very bullish. But yeah, we have been pretty slow. And USD CAD still slowly creeping higher, but again, don't want to touch USD CAD as long as we're in this range. So I'll keep that on the back of keep that on the back burner because whilst we're in there, I'm not looking to touch it at all. Yeah, same. 3 mils. But as long as you eat well, then it's all good. But yeah, I'll keep an eye on this year. Yeah, I mean, some people probably ask why hold the position, maybe close it, and then see if you can get a re-entry, which makes sense as well. But yeah, number one, you can't really predict price of what's going to do next. So there's a world where we do push bullish. I'll definitely close trades early just to see it move my direction, and I'll beat myself up for doing it. So number one, yeah, I would always hold just in case the trade does play out because I've taken it for a reason. I put my stop loss there for a reason, so I want to see it through. Um, and number two, sometimes the entry could be the worse entry than the first one as well. The entry could be up here next time, so now the risk reward skewed, and it makes things a little more awkward. So I always just see it through. If I do get stopped out, now I'll look to re-enter. And the market will show its hand tomorrow, Wednesday. But we did have just close the window now. We did have, I think we got some news Wednesday. But we normally see the bigger moves between like Tuesday, Thursday. Although sometimes Friday does pack a punch as well. But yeah, between Tuesday, Thursday, we will see some nice moves. We got a bunch of PMI news, I think, on Wednesday. So I do expect the market to see some movement off the back of that. But yeah, at the same time, again, just let the market do what it needs to do. Some weeks will be very fast paced, some weeks will be a bit slower. I mean, it's only Monday. The London session is just about come to an end. We haven't even got to New York yet, so let's yeah, let's not panic. It might be a bit slow, but the market's only just getting started really for the week. You never know, you can wait all week to catch a really nice trade on Thursday that does very well. So no need to panic or force anything. And that's why it's good to have hobbies or maybe a part-time job or something other than trading to do. Something you can work on, something you spend your time on, because trading, once you're doing that, once you're trading your edge or trading your plan, it shouldn't really entail too much of your time. Maybe a couple of hours a day max in terms of analysis, trading, managing positions, closing positions, reviewing. Probably takes a couple of hours a day. Some maybe a bit more, maybe 3, some maybe 4, some maybe a lot less, some even like 20 minutes a day, depending on how you manage and your style. So it's going to be around that area, but it doesn't take up a lot of time trading. All we're doing effectively really is just clicking buttons. So it's very, very good to have something outside of trading, even if it's just even going to the gym, and be really, really, on it in terms of going to the gym and exercise or playing a sport or something to do outside of trading that gets your mind completely off the charts and completely on something else. Because like we touched upon earlier, if you're just going to keep looking at the charts, sure, I understand if you're in your learning phase because you need to put the time in, you need to get the hours, you need to get the experience. So 100% all of that. If you're in your first kind of 6 months, year, 100% understand, looking at the charts all day, every day. But it will come to a point where, okay, you've understood technical analysis to a degree. It always will be a ongoing path. You never stop learning. But there will be a point where, okay, I've put a plan together, I've tested this out. I'm seeing some results on this. Let me focus on this, and then your trading hours will diminish. Then it will become more about maintenance and more about reviewing and just tweaking and improving from that perspective. And most of that will happen on the weekend as well when the markets are closed. Free trade is one-way ticket to the sky. It's one way to look at it. I do admire that confidence there more. I do admire that confidence. But yeah, everyone's got their own which way they want to trade. At the end of the day, if you're trading a personal account anyway, it's your money. You decide how you want to manage that. I think the most important thing is just there's the risk involved. If you can understand the risk involved, then do what you need to do. If you don't understand the risk and you just trade to gamble, then yeah, it's not going to be a good day for you. If you don't look at the charts regularly, how do you know when to take a trade? Well, you have to have your trading hours, number one. Like for me, for example, my hours are between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. So it's a pretty big window. But I only take a trade on an hourly candle close. So there's no point of me looking at the charts, say, for example, right now, 11:36, because, I only take a trade on an hourly candle closure. There's nothing for me to do at this particular time. Of course, I'm streaming right now, but if I wasn't streaming, there would be no point for me to be at the chart. So for me, I just have an alert on my phone 10 minutes before the hourly candle does close. And for example, I'm looking at NZUSD and Pound USD right now. 10 minutes before the hourly candle does close, I'll check the markets for 5 minutes. If things look good, I'll start getting ready to take a trade. If nothing looks good, then continue about my day. But for me, because I work a lot on the daily, the 4 hour, and the hourly charts, a lot of my analysis is done on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. So by the time the week comes around, I pretty much know which pairs I'm looking to trade, and I know how I'm looking to trade them. I'm looking to buy, sell. I know where I want to buy, where I want to sell. So during the week is basically just keeping up to date with price action, and managing positions and taking new positions. So you don't necessarily have to look at the charts regularly because you already have a plan in place. Like in the morning of the day, say for example, you wake up today, you're looking to trade Pound USD. You can spend 30 minutes analyzing the market. You know exactly how you're going to analyze what you're going to do for that day. And then you can set alerts. Trading View is a great software. You can set alerts. I can set alert there. If price gets there, it'll trigger me. Then I can start looking at the market. Or if it's to do with timing, then you can do what I do: set alerts on your phone. You don't have to be at the market to be up to date if a trade's going to come or not. Sure, you do have to put some hours in, but it's more about precision. You don't have to be there continuously. But of course, if you're going to be like trading like the 15-minute or 5-minute chart, you're going to get a lot more candle closures, so it's going to be a lot more active. But even then, you want to kind of keep your window short. Like maybe 2-3 hours from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. or 3 p.m. That's the hours you're looking to trade for that day. So, okay, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., you're devoted to trading. That's your trading window. And outside of that, you don't think about trading again unless you're kind of looking back over your trades or something. Okay, do running 8 kilometers, 6 p.m. Go to the gym as well. It's free from missions. Yeah, I do hear that. Try and get the task done out in the morning and plan the day. And for me, I like having my evenings to relax. I don't like doing stuff late. If I have my trades working for me, why do I need to work for them? Yeah, I've never heard anyone say that before, but that is poetry. If I have my trades working for me, why do I need to work for them? That is phenomenal. Yeah, that's true as well, more. That is very true. That is very, very true. Again, a lot of people get into trading because of the free time you could potentially have. Again, there will be time you have to look for trades and manage trades, and it's not like you're not doing anything. Of course, you're doing things, but compared to a regular 9 to 5 occupation, the timing's a lot less, and that's one of the big perks of trading. So if you're going to do a 9 to 5 hours, similar as a regular 9 to 5, then it defeats some of the purpose. Noroi Man Zondi, welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Prosperous pip stars. Maybe we got some poets on the stream today, putting some nice words together. Prosperous pip stars. Okay, looking a little bit bullish there. Needed to rally a lot harder than that to get things really moving, but we're looking okay. Again, the key thing for me is that we're still holding onto the trend line, and we're still just about holding onto this swing high here on the daily chart. If we can maintain that confidence, if the daily chart can close like this, if the daily candlestick can close like this, that would be absolutely beautiful, because that means you put in two big wicks to the downside into the trend line, into that support. That means tomorrow there's a good chance we do push up higher. Maybe we do leave another wick as well, but there's a good chance we do push higher. If this wick does end up closing, ends up filling by the end of the day, and we close down here or something, then that's not a good close at all, and probably will spill over. But if we can leave a wick like this, and in 10 hours time when the daily candle does close, we look something like this, then yeah, that gives me a lot of confidence that tomorrow or Thursday, you probably will see price push on higher. And then I'll start managing the trade in terms of trail stop loss and locking in some gains. But looking okay. How the other yen pairs doing? CAD yen, not much there. Pound yen's pushing up a little bit. Okay, so the yen pairs are pushing up a little bit, but again, it's a small thing. How's the Japanese index looking like? Yeah, we are reacting there a little bit, so I do think we can see some upside there. Pound USD looking a little bit bullish, but not quite at my area just yet. As the USD, need that to retrace, and then we can discuss some shorts later. Piptologist. I like that one. Piptologist. That's a good one. Might have to steal that one, Manzoni. One probably still have. We look out to know when to enter and what is the most reliable time frame. There isn't necessarily a reliable time frame. It just depends what levels you're looking at. If you're looking at a daily level and you're using an hourly chart or a 15-minute chart or a 5-minute chart to enter on a daily level, then because a daily level will be like as thick as this, and then you've got your small kind of 5-minute, 15-minute hourly candles in here. the rejection you're going to see on those timeframes isn't going to really mean much in the grand scheme of things on that daily level. So if you're looking at certain key levels and certain timeframes, then I'd recommend use that same time frame to enter, or maybe one below. Like for me, I'll look at a lot of 4-hour levels and I'll use the hourly chart to enter, because the hourly chart will help me in terms of maximize my risk reward, but it's not too far away from the 4-hour where the hourly candle doesn't have much meaning. So first of all, whatever levels you're finding whatever time frame you find your levels at, use that same time frame or the one below. Secondly, in terms of just timing, you want to be looking at London New York session. That's where a lot of volatility comes in the market, and if you catch a nice trade, hopefully price should rally in your direction. So in terms of timing, just either one of those sessions have good movement. You can focus on one or the other if you want to. But also just looking back at your previous trades, for example, you say that a lot of the times you enter and you get stopped out. Well, what's the reason you get stopped out? Is it because price gets to a level, you get an entry signal, you take a trade? Are you getting stopped out because the market stops you out and then moves in your direction? Or are you getting stopped out because it's not holding to your levels? Well, if it's A, then you need to try and look at your entries and perfect them in terms of, okay, maybe I'm getting into the trade a little bit too early. Maybe we need to wait for some more signs before I look to get in, maybe more rejection or more developed candlesticks before I enter, and enter a little bit later so I don't get stopped out and then see price rallying my direction. Or is it that you get into a trade at a level and the levels just don't hold and price just completely breaks through them? Well, if that's the case, then wherever your levels you're looking at isn't really that significant in the market. So what you need to do next is see, where does the market turn? Where did the market get to before it did turn? And go through examples, because if you've got a lot of examples of failed trades, then you've got a lot of examples of what you could look to do better. So if the market did fall and hit a certain level or certain area, where was that area that we did turn? And then you can look to learn from that as well. But you have to find out, why the trades are failing. Is it just because you're getting pinched a little bit and then price moves in direction, or is it because where you're entering just isn't holding? And you want to use a decent sample size. I would say at least 50 trades before you make a decision on anything. The more the better. 100 would be better, but I'll say at least 50. So yeah, find out what is the reason you're just getting pinched or you're getting completely wrong, and then you can use that to your advantage. But a lot of the proof is in the pudding. That's why journaling is so important, because journaling will have those answers in it. Maybe not directly, but if you've got screenshots of your previous trades, you can look back and see, okay, out of 50 losses, 35 of them, I just got pinched a little bit and then price went in my direction. Well, okay, if 35 losses just pinched you out and then it went in direction, then all you need to do is just enter a little bit later. Sure, it might mean you miss out on a few winning trades because you're not taking the first signal or whatever, but just instantly those 35 losers now become potentially winning trades. And that could be the difference between break even and profitable, or losing and profitable potentially as well. So it's small adjustments like that can go a long way. And looking back over your trades will give you those answers. So yeah, look back at your trades; they'll give you the best answers for that. Okay, looking okay. It's only kind of be a week of a grim pin. Tomorrow it will start to pay for the time it was down. It'll make up for it. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we are starting to push, which is a good sign. So Hopefully we can just keep that up. I mean, this candle's about to close in the next 9 minutes. So hopefully it does keep this up for the closure. I mean, the key thing I'll be looking at is the 4 hour. Key thing I'll be looking at is the 4 hour. If the 4 hour can close like up here, that'd be fantastic. Because that means that this massive dump we had to the downside has kind of just been eradicated, really. Because we spiked down all the way to here, and by the next candle closure, we're back up to where we came from. It basically just means that this whole move down has just been invalidated, or just a big kind of fake out, really, and that will give me a lot of confidence that we probably will rally to the upside. May not go far, we may come back down again, but I would expect to see more upside off the back of that. Because it's either this move here is a pullback of that, or price is trying to reverse it. So if you can push up there, that'll tell me it's most likely a reversal for price to see more upside. But regardless, anyway, I'll just be managing the trade, not looking to do anything until we start at least breaking the high here. Then I'll start considering maybe some trail stop losses. Yeah, that is a pain, I must admit. That is a pain. Yeah, I mean that is probably the worst aspect of a stop loss. Price just pinching a stop loss and then moving direction. 100%, that's the worst thing. And I think that's probably one of the main reasons why people who don't use stop losses as more just suggested. Because again, it's very, very difficult to pinpoint price perfectly in turning on a dime. It's very, very difficult to do that. So just getting pinched a little bit with a stop loss and then it does rally in direction is going to be a common occurrence. I mean, not common isn't all the time, but it's going to happen throughout your trading career as long as you use an electronic stop loss. It will always be an occurrence, no matter how precise you are. You're protecting yourself there more. Not a financial advisor. Quick disclaimer. Yeah, don't worry. I've got that in my bio, mate. I've got that in my bio. All right, no problem, Sculpey. Have a good one, my man. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on this yen position because it is definitely going back and forth, back and forth. If you guys have enjoyed the stream, found it useful, by the way, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. It does really help out. And of course, make sure you do hit the bell as well so you don't miss any streams or uploads in the future. Yeah, pound USD and New Zealand dollar are not in my areas just yet, so we'll have to be patient. But that is the area I'm waiting for. Hopefully one will move down, see what we can do there. Hopefully a big move up later on. And that will be my long-term target, 1.31. Okay, no problem. More have a good one, my man. We'll see you tomorrow. Let me take a look at the DXY. So yeah, if the DXY does sell off, then that will give me the setup. Oh well, hopefully it will give me the setup on pound USD. These are the two areas I'm looking at. But dollar CHF I don't really like because we formed a big double bottom. Gold I'm looking for buys, but I'm waiting for that to develop, and that might take a while. Dollar C just spoke about that one. Silver, not really interested in this one anymore. I mean, I'm still bullish. I'm still looking for a move back to the high. However, the setup's a bit awkward now. It's not looking as good. So yeah, I'm not going to be focused as much as I was previously the past few weeks as I was for silver anymore. So yeah, not looking to take that trade. NZUSD spoke about that one, looking for a pullback and a short. Something like that. USD CAD consolidation, not really looking to talk too much about this one because as long as we stay in that range, I'm not really interested about price. I'm not looking to trade it at all. So yeah, we'll leave that alone. Aussie dollar, since it's broken through that area, I am putting Aussie dollar on the sidelines. I was looking to buy it to take a trade higher, but now it's breaking through. It's definitely made things awkward, especially for the buys there. Not really seeing any good sell setups either. I mean, maybe a retest of this area, but it's a little bit too aggressive for me. I'll just focus on NZUSD instead. So yeah, Aussie dollar, I'm putting that on the sidelines as well. Euro USD, I do like, but not as much as pound, so I just focus on that one anyway. But I'm looking at pullback and then some more upside as well for euro, back to the high, and then again maybe higher. So pound USD to me looks the best. I'll keep an eye on the retest of this structure, looking for a higher low and a push back to the high, and again eventually at 1.31 as well, which is the swing high up here. So from a dollar perspective, that's kind of where I'm at. Now I just need to stay patient. What's up, Lekewe or Lekewe? So yeah, as I said with NZUSD, I'm looking for a short pullback and some more downside. Looking to try and catch that next lower high. One over there, second, third, looking for the fourth. Retest some nice structure, and hopefully you can find another lower high to short back down. So that's what I'm looking at for NZUSD. Oil, have not touched upon oil yet. What's oil been doing? Oh, oil melted. Big move. So yeah, oil, discussing that one a lot last week. I said I don't really have a clear cut bias with oil because it's just been ranging between these two trend lines here. We've been forming lower highs and higher lows. So from a directional point of view, I don't really know where we're trending to until we finally break out of this mess. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for, a higher time frame perspective. But last week we were talking about, okay, price is testing the high up there. There's a likelihood we'll form another lower high and push back down. So what I'm looking for oil is more downside back to the lower end. And then again, we see what price does from there. Maybe you do get the breakout, maybe you bounce again. We'll find out when we get there. But for now, expecting more downside, and especially after such a strong close on the weekly candle, it does look like price will continue to move further down. So what I would be looking for oil would be just some pullbacks. It's a really nice breakout. This to me looks like a solid place for a short to try and catch that next lower high. So something like that would look nice. We've got one high there, or actually a double top. Broke structure, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So we'd be looking at another lower high for a push to the downside. And then we've got the lower trend line around 75. So that could be your target as well. So yeah, that's kind of where I'll be at with oil. Manzondi, I never took a platinum trade. I analyzed it, but I never took a trade for it. I don't even trade platinum. The only metals I'm looking at is gold and silver. Personally, but of course I look at platinum and copper for other people, but no, I don't trade platinum. Caspero, what is up? Just in time for the end. thoughts on DXY considering US election shenanigans. Again, I'm just focused on the price action. Again, the elections, the things that go around the politics, take the market this way, take the market that way. I have no idea, really, to be honest. And even if I was very clued up with the US politics to a high level, even then it would probably be difficult to find out what the market's likely going to react and do next. So I'm just keeping things simple, focus on the technical analysis. If things change, we'll see it in the market. If the DXY wants to change direction, we'll see that eventually happen in the market. We'll break structure, things will change. We'll go with the flow. Right now, I'm still looking at shorts for the DXY. We are holding some structure here, so I do think we can sell off. If we go a little bit higher, then I'll see what we can do at this area. But again, looking for a big sell-off. If we break through those areas, then I'll readjust and go again. But again, I'll let the market react to the news and everything going on over there. See how the market reacts. Price action will tell us most of the story anyway, and I'll go off that. But yeah, trying to predict things and it's difficult, especially in the current climate. But anyway, guys, we have come up to the end of the stream. If you have found it useful, please be sure to smash the like button. It really does help out. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well so you don't miss out on any other uploads, future updates, streams, whatever it is. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that. And of course, also make sure you check out the free Discord channel for elevating traders. It is at the top of the chat there. So make sure you check that out. My printer's going wild right now. Anyway, have a good day, guys. I will be live again tomorrow, so I hope to see you all there. But till then, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.